Good evening, esteemed members of the CBA administration, staff and faculty, board members and members of the class of 1973, CBA emeritus faculty, parents, family, and friends, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2023. I like objectivity, definitive answers, a clear-cut right and wrong. This is precisely why I struggle with writing creative essays, or in this case, speeches. Just like there is no correct way to distill the essence of myself into a 650-word Common App prompt, there's also no correct way for me now to deliver the address that's supposed to be the proverbial bottle of champagne that will kick off the rest of our lives. Given my indecision on what to write about, I initially consulted a sagacious mentor, known well by CBA students and teachers alike, ChatGPT. Although I appreciated his efforts, his address to the class of graduating class here seemed a little generic. Next, I began watching hours of valedictorian speeches on YouTube just to get some inspiration as to what I should address during these 4 short minutes. Yet, after poring over all of these other brilliant speeches, I developed some uneasiness about delivering my own speech. Why so? Well, for one, I was worried that I was at risk of being booed off the stage. This problem did have a relatively simple fix, though. I just had to avoid mentioning that I was at CBA on Nope, not again. In the words of the great Canadian philosopher Drake, damn, I finally learned my lesson. Still, another issue was more pressing for me. How could I definitively assure all of us, the CBA class of 2023, that we will all find success in our lives? This guarantee of success was a commonality amongst every great speech I listened to, but I just couldn't bring myself to say such a thing. My reluctance seems ridiculous now, as I stand amongst a group of some of the most driven, tenacious, intelligent, kind, and passionate individuals I know. These qualities make me confident enough to say that many of you will, in fact, find success in your life. But not all of you will. Not everyone in this room will be able to come home to their wife, Margot Robbie, in an NYC penthouse suite on Wall Street and pop open what was once only a proverbial bottle of champagne. Despite what you all may think, this is all right. A lack of success does not necessarily need to be synonymous with a lack of happiness or a lack of fulfillment. To understand why, we can look back to an actual philosopher, Democritus, who believed that genuine happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold, but in the soul. CBA class of 2023, I implore you, nourish your soul. Find happiness that will not fester away after achieving frivolous goals, but will instead blossom in light of your impactful, wide-reaching achievements. Strive for goals that will allow you to find fulfillment and self-improvement in their pursuit, goals that you will not regret having aimed for, even in the face of failure. Most importantly, act as an agent that spreads this genuine happiness through your relationships with others. I think it is especially powerful that when I asked various CBA students what topics they most wanted to hear in my graduation speech, the most common response was, you guessed it, brotherhood. I think this is emblematic of how ultimately success does not merely lie in personal accolades or distinctions, but instead in the relationships you cultivate with others. At CBA, you may have cultivated these relationships by joining in chants along with your entire class during the state final soccer match. Perhaps you deepened those relationships in Seaside during the night after prom. Or maybe you grew closer with others throughout long hours in after-school clubs. Continue forming these relationships, strengthening these bonds, because in the end, they are how you will be remembered. I can't say that every one of you will be successful in all of your endeavors, but I can say with certainty that each and every one of you have that capacity for success, for self-fulfillment, and for finding that genuine happiness. Thank you all for an amazing 4 years, especially Will Horwath, because he's going to pay me $20 for shouting him out in the speech. Bosch for life and go Colts.